Hey gang, it's Bryan from FXBilliards. Today, we're going to talk about 10 reasons you miss easy shots. Number one, fundamentals break down. Even if you have great fundamentals 99% of the time, occasionally you'll see someone, even some of the best players in the world, break down fundamentally. We're going to put fundamentals all into one category because we could take stroke, stance, follow through, cue speed. We could take all of those things and put them in a top 10 list and turn it into a top 20 list. So number one is going to be everything fundamental. So what do you do about this? Put in reps with good fundamentals. The more reps you put in with good fundamentals, regardless of what you're doing, that means practice, that means playing with your friends, that means messing around on the table. You always want to do things the right way. Don't say, oh, we were just messing around, so I did this or did that. I am guilty as anyone when I'm playing and it has no value. I can be one of the worst players in the building. So you need to focus on trying to play your best game all the time. Sometimes mentally it's draining. Me and my buddy played 3 days, 10 hours a day. You can't pull that off and stay focused the whole time. So it's understandable that sometimes your fundamentals are going to break down. But as much as you can, stick to your fundamentals. Number two, pace. This is not how hard you're hitting the ball, because we're going to get to that one, but how fast you're moving around the table. Now, it's a good idea, especially in games like straight pool and 8-ball, where you're making ball after ball after ball. It is a good idea to have a nice rhythm. But a lot of you don't recognize where your rhythm is. You're doing a great job shooting from one ball to the next, and you're on a nice run, and maybe you're a guy that's accustomed to running racks, and that's great. But what happens is you have this rhythm, and it starts to get faster and faster as you get close to the end of the rack. And as a result, by the time you get to your money ball, even though you have an easy shot, you blow it because everything has started to speed up. You're not in your normal rhythm. Be very conscious of this. If you really want to be extreme, I have a student that downloaded a metronome on his phone. If you don't know what a metronome is, it's the thing we use in music to make sure people are staying in rhythm, make sure they're staying on beat. So you can set it to click a certain amount of times per minute, however you want to do it. But he downloaded one on his phone so that he doesn't shoot too fast and he doesn't have too much of a speed up in his rhythm as he gets further and further into the rack. So also, don't let other people slow you down or speed you up, which is important because a lot of people will play as fast as the person they're playing, which is a very bad idea. I've had this happen to me. I've played straight pool players that just buzz around the table, and as a result, when it's your turn to shoot, you're buzzing around the table. So be careful of that, which brings me to number three, which is negative performance contagion. That means you're watching weak players play and you start to take on, you start to mirror what they are doing. They're shooting too fast, they have a bad stroke, they have a bad stance, and you start doing it. League players fall into this all the time. You wonder how 3s beat 7s in a race to 5? Well, this is what happens. The 7 is locked in on what the 3 is doing. They're paying too much attention to it. They may even be subconsciously critiquing what this person is doing. And it is very easy to have other players imprint on you. And it does work the other direction, but that's not what this video is about. Real quick, 3s play up when they're playing better players sometimes because they start to slow down, follow through, have a better stance, just because they are subconsciously mirroring what they see on the table. So negative and positive performance contagion is a real thing. We kind of touched on this, but it's not quite the same thing. We're going to talk about speed. Speed and pace are two different things. When we talk about speed, we're talking about how fast you're shooting the ball in the pocket. A lot of you come to me and you're like, Bryan, I keep rattling balls. Why am I rattling balls all the time? It's because you're playing on 4 1/4 or 4 1/2 inch pockets and you're hitting the ball just too hard. If you're not hitting this pocket properly and you have a very small target, you better slow down because a lot of you just hit, let's just say 90%. I'm going to go out on a limb and say 90% of amateur players are hitting the balls harder than they should. We all fall into that trap because it's very fun to hit a ball and shoot a long draw shot, hear that ball slap the back of the pocket. It's the pool equivalent of a slam dunk, right? But it's not good for your game. Slow down the pace that the ball is heading towards the pocket, and you will make more shots, because a lot of these rattles just come from guys hitting the ball way too hard. Next on the list, the anyways. What are anyways? Anyways are when you get down on the shot and it doesn't feel right, but you shoot it anyway. You've all done it. I've done it. I've done it today. You don't feel right, your feet don't feel right, your bridge doesn't feel right, you think you're off a little bit, and you shoot it anyway. Stop it. Stop it. It takes a lot of discipline when the shot doesn't matter to make sure that you don't give yourself an anyway. Or if the shot looks too easy, don't fall into that trap. Oh, my feet don't feel quite perfect, or I'm slightly distracted, or whatever, and you shoot it anyway. Which brings me to the next one, distractions. If you are distracted at all, a lot of you have heard the story about the Fox and the Hound. We played at a bar, a sports bar, a huge sports bar that has some of the most beautiful waitresses in the world, well, at least in the Delaware Valley. And they had zero pool hall etiquette. What does this mean? You might be down on a shot and the girl walks over there with her hand on the table giving somebody their check. They might even come to you with your check while you're in the middle of a shot. But one of the things they did do a lot was walk in front of us while you're down on a shot. Get back up. You don't need to shoot it. You can get back up, get yourself right, and shoot the shot. Next is what I like to call a position miss. A lot of times when people tell me, hey, I'm missing easy shots, or I missed this easy shot to win the game, and I tell them to set it up, they give me something that looks like this. And then I say, no, where was your next ball? Oh, well, my next ball was here. Well, this is not an easy shot. All day, there's guys that can put this ball in this pocket but can't get on this 7 ball. You have to shoot a draw shot here to get on the 7 ball. This is not just a straight in shot. This is a straight in shot with a draw stroke, and you have to avoid the scratch here. A lot of times you think a shot is easy. It's not easy. You see people on YouTube knocking these shots out all the time. Well, we may have 20, 30, who knows how many more 100 or 1,000 hours than you have on the table. Don't compare yourself to pros, and don't compare yourself to guys that teach pool for a living. It's just not going to be a fair comparison for most people. Now, that said, recognize that an easy shot that you're trying to get position on is not all that easy. And a lot of times people are telling me they miss shots that they didn't need to get position on. And I say, well, set it up. And they're like, well, it was easy. I just had to shoot this 7 ball down there into the corner. From this angle, this 7 ball has a very small target. I know a lot of you that aren't familiar with this stuff because you just don't have enough time at the table, don't recognize it. The pocket is its smallest, as small as it can be, when you're coming in from this angle. And if you go back to a previous number here that we talked about, if you hit it with too much speed, you are not going to make this ball. So, shots that aren't really easy, a lot of times you're calling them easy shots. Maybe the shot is not that easy. Next on the list, one of my favorite subjects, adrenaline dump. What is adrenaline dump? I'm about to win it all. I've got an easy shot. Looks like this. Make the 6 in the corner, Brian. You win everything. Well, we have what we call adrenaline dump. It comes up in basketball. It comes up in pool. It comes up in cards even. You'll see players at the table. Their hands are shaking. People think this means that they're bluffing, but it doesn't. You see a player at a table, at a card table, and their hand is shaking. Guess what that means? They got the nuts. They've got the best possible hand. They know they're going to take down the pot. And all of that tension that they had in their bodies from playing this hand out is being released, and they can't even control it. Same thing happens. We've got plenty of videos of the best players in the world missing easy shots at the end of a match. It's hill. They've got one ball to make and they blow it. Some of the best players, I'm talking 5 best players on the planet to ever play the game, have missed that shot. It's adrenaline dump and it's very difficult to control because it's a chemical reaction within your body. So controlling it is very, very difficult. Take a walk around the table. Wipe down your cue with your towel. Anything you need to do to allow yourself to recover a little bit if you feel that you have the tremors at all, and then take the shot. And last but not least, don't be casual with any shot. This means don't fall for the anyways, don't fall for easy distractions, don't fall for the things that cause you to miss these shots because it's so easy, it's so casual, and you've made it 1,000 times. Guess what? You made it 1,000 times, you missed it a couple of times, and those couple of times will creep up on you and you'll miss it again for absolutely no reason at all. Stay focused through the whole game as much as you can. Pool is exhausting and it is very difficult to stay on these 10 things and not let them happen all the time, but your job is to make it happen as little as possible. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and here's a message from MJ about FX Billiards TV.
Hey gang, if you enjoy FX Billiards on YouTube, you'll love FXB TV. It's the ultimate streaming platform for exclusive videos, tips, and techniques you won't find anywhere else. Join now to lock in our special introductory rate and be part of the FX Billiards community.